Now, quickly moving over to the next speaker, we have two more speakers from CGD business now. We are all aware, I was talking initially, that CGD is moving, spreading in a very, very fast speed. So we thought that we should have two at least speakers from CGD. So we have one speaker from IGL and another speaker from Gale Gas. So I'll first invite Mr. Khatri from IGL. Uh, Mr. Khatri is currently Deputy General Manager Fire and Safety, operating from Bangalore. He is BSc PCM and BE Fire from Nagpur University. Then he did Diploma Industrial Safety. He has rich experience of 24 years and 6 months. Uh, he was instrumental in procurement of CNG-based emergency response vehicles. He was telling me recently that this is probably first time that emergency response vehicle operated on CNG have been brought to the function, and many more initiatives which I think elaborately he will be talking. So over to you.
Good afternoon to all. First of all, please excuse me for not being available physically there. So looking into the time constraint, I'll start my presentation. So the topic is safety in city gas distribution industry. So first of all, a brief about IGL business segment. We are currently operating 601 number of CNG stations, and then we are supplying close to 18 lakh domestic customers gas in PNG business. Then we are supplying gas to 3,100 industries and 5,100 commercial customers are there. So coming on to the natural gas supply and distribution layout of CGD business, we are getting gas at 60 bar from through City Gate station from GAIL. And then there are two segments. First one is automobile segment, that is CNG business, and then for domestic and industrial, we have PNG business. So we are dispensing gas for automobile sector at 200 bar, and for PNG segment it is from 21 millibar to almost 4 bar. These are the key elements of IGL safety management system. First one is health, safety and environment policy. We have a robust HSE policy which are having all the top priorities and commitment by the management to ensure safety, health and environment. Then we have safe operating procedures for all the operational activities. Then we have safety work permit system. It is a app-based work permit system, so we need not to go for that hard copy permit system. So it is quite easy in use, and we can ensure real-time tracking of all the activities being done through safety work permit system. Then we have STC training, safety and technical competency training for our staff. For IGL employees, we do annual training. One-day training module is there. And for contract staff, which is having less than 2-year experience with IGL, we go for 2-day training module annually, and refresher trainings are being done quarterly. Then for contract staff, which are having more than 2-year experience, we do 1-day annually training. Then quarterly is being done, refresher training is done on site. Then as far as audits are concerned, we have internal audits and external audits. Internal audits are conducted once in a year, and external audits are once in every 3 years. And we are having the safety committee. There are committees which meet at least quarterly to discuss about the safety issues at site, and to take the decisions which are not being done, which cannot be being done at the site. So we are also having the risk assessment system also, in which we have Hadoop and QRA. Then we have management of change process. Also for our customers, we are doing safety awareness programs. Then we have a robust incident and accident reporting system, and we do investigation of all the incidents and all the CAPAs, corrective and preventive actions. We ensure that all the CAPAs are implemented at site, so that there is no reoccurrence of such incidents. Then we do training on 9 life saving rules, and we have implemented at our sites for each and activity, for each of these activities, 9 types of activities. We have a robust emergency response and adjustment plan to tackle any emergency, and our ERDMP document has been accredited by the DIM, Disaster Management Institute Bhopal. And to rehearse the ERDMP, we do regularly emergency mock drills at our sites. Last year, we have conducted more than 300 mock drills. So these are the state-of-art firefighting and emergency response system at sites. We are having security flooding system for our compressor, DCP system for our bus dispenser. Then we are having high-capacity DC system for our cascades. Then we are also having high-pressure water mist pump system. Then we are having emergency response vehicles, which are stationed at different emergency control centers and each of geographical areas. Now, coming on to the safety features of compressors, we are having the safety interlocks in our PLC controls. All the units are designed for fail-safe operation. We are having interlocking for high discharge pressure each stage. If the pressure goes beyond that stage, the compressor automatically trips. Then we have low pressure interlocking for suction, engine lube oil, compressor oils. Then high temperature interlocks for each stage, lube oil and coolant. If temperature goes above the limit of gas or lube oil or coolant, the compressor will trip. And gas leakage detection is there, flame detection is there. If gas leakage is there, the compressor will automatically trip. And if flame detection is there, then the compressor will trip, as well as the CO2 flooding system will also activate to extinguish the fire. And we have low-level interlocks for lube oil and coolant. Then high vibration, if machine goes into the high vibration or some problem is there with the machine, the compressor will trip. Then, as in the previous slide I told, we are having flame detectors. There are 2 numbers of LEL detectors, gas detectors in each partition of package, and 2 numbers of flame detection in each partition. An ESD system is there. Manually, it can be operated. The technician know if something goes wrong, he can manually activate the system, which brings the unit to immediate halt and aspirates the unit from the gas suction supply, and all the valves will be closed automatically. That is gas going to compressor, cascade, and dispenser. Then in compressors, all the electrical connections, the electrical wiring and equipment inside the compressor unit are accordance with the rules and regulations. As far as our compressor concerned, that is gas cylinder rules 2016, IS 5571, IS 5572. All the cables are terminated into double compressor explosion proof glands, and electrical motors are all flame proof and explosion proof. Then double earthing of equipment is ensured. Then intrinsically, all the equipments are intrinsically safe and suitable for hazardous area classification. Then any loose wire, failure of any sensor means that PLC will take the machine into safe mode. It will not operate until all the systems are fine. Then tubing and fittings, all the high pressure tubings in the CNG station is made of stainless steel, which do not corrode, and all the tubing connections are double roll type. All the tubings are procured from reputed vendors. As far as safety feature of cascades are concerned, we are having 2 types of cascades. Mainly we are having 3,000 liter water capacity cascade of the base 72 liter water capacity. Number of banks, mainly we have 1 number of banks, but some of the cascades are having 3 number of banks. And configuration is concerned, as far as configuration is concerned, we are having 2 configurations in which there are 75 liter 40 cylinders and 60 liter 50 cylinders. As far as design code of cylinders are concerned, these are the different IS standards. With for cylinders, we are having 7285, 15490, and for valves, we are all the valves are according to BIS 3224, and safety devices are as per BIS 5903. Operating pressure is of this cascade is 250 bar maximum. We can store that much of pressure, and we test all these cascades at every 3 years at 435 bar. The safety devices in cascades, there are two types of safety devices. One is fusible plug temperature, which melt at around 100 to 120 degrees Celsius temperature if the cylinder is in fire. So that fusible plug will melt in this range so that the gas can leak and the cylinder will not explode. Then there is brush discs which operate at 363 to 400 bar. As I told in earlier slide, we are testing it at 435 bar. So before that bursting of cylinder, that brush disc will fail. So that all the brush discs are connected through vent line, and vent is safely release the gas at the meter level from working platform. Then all the cylinders are hydro-tested at interval of 3 years. All the cascades are firmly grouted onto the frame, and earthing is also done of all the cascades. Coming on to the LCV, LCV we use to transport the gas from mother station to those stations which are not connected through pipelines. So all the LCVs are having vehicle tracking systems. Those are having speed governors. Each LCV driver is trained from Institute of Driving Training and Research to carry the hazardous load. Then cascades are firmly installed into the frame of the vehicle. Adequate number of fire extinguishers are there. Crash guards are provided into the vehicle so that in case of any problem that vehicle needs to be parked on the road. There are traffic cones that is also there. Crash guard is for prevent overhead collision. Then regular audits of LCVs are conducted for safe operations. We have a dedicated checklist. All the points are checked, and every month we do the audit. Then trump card is available with the LCV drivers, in which all the transport emergency information is given. So drivers are both trained, but they can also refer the trump card to ensure that in case of emergency, they need to work out in a specified manner so that the emergency cannot be aggravated. Then cylinders are also tested at 3 years interval. Again, in LCV cylinders, the same safety phase fusible plug temperature is there, then brush disc is also there.
Mr. Khatri, please wind up.
Sir, it is about to end. Okay. Then for dispenser, we are all the hoses are electrical conductive. All the static charge is carried to the, if any static charge is there, that can go through that electric conductive hose. Then dispenser arc breakaway coupling is there to ensure that in case of hose pulling, that dispenser will not couple. Then there are multiple isolation valves are there. Then we have overprotection system also for auto cut off supply. Then we are having SOP in bilingual language is displayed at the dispensing area for safe operation. As far as pipeline safety is concerned, we are having 24/7 patrolling of our pipelines. Then the letter of drawings are shared with all the local authorities and other utility companies. VTS system is installed on the patrolling bikes. Regular meetings are conducted with the local authorities and other concerned. If any damage is there due to the third-party damage, we lodge the police complaints. Then awareness programs are conducted for private agencies and digging contractors. We do the training of JCB drivers also, so that in case of any digging near pipeline, they can inform the IGL. Then sensitization of general public is done through FM radio. Awareness programs are conducted for consumers and general public. Then we do the leakage survey also. Then third party inspection survey also in place before giving permission near our pipelines. Then there is dial before day.
Please close, running short of time.
Then coming straight to the major challenges in the CGD industry, first challenge is validation of CNG cylinders. We are having the shortage of CNG cylinder test facilities. There are only around 116 test facilities for more than 40 lakh vehicles. That is a challenge. Then third party damage to pipeline. Then other challenges, poor maintenance of CNG vehicles and kits. Then use of unauthorized spare parts and unauthorized installations. Thank you, sir.
It was a very thorough presentation on the city gas distribution, especially IGL being one of the initial operators in the country after MGL. Their system has matured. Imagine running 601 CNG stations, as he mentioned, more than 18 lakh PNG customers. So it's very challenging to safely supply the natural gas to the houses, to various industries and other customers. In fact, one of the major challenge is how to maintain the integrity of these pipelines, because there are sometimes knowingly or unknowingly other civil construction operators who are damaging these pipelines. And that time, I remember even the cross-country pipelines, the role of public becomes very, very important. They are also our stakeholders. So wherever the cross-country pipelines are going, you try to engage with those people who are villagers, or who are nearby community people. You have to make them aware that what are the risks involved in the natural gas pipeline, what can go wrong, and how they can help us in quickly responding to the emergencies, etc. So they become the eyes and ears of the operating company. So I remember GAIL has a GAIL Sayogi scheme. They engage some of the village youngsters or even the village pradhan to help them getting the information at a very fast, the short notice if anything goes wrong with the pipeline. And there is a toll-free number 15101, I still remember, and that is publicized all over the country. Anybody can call on those number and inform about the emergencies. Similarly, to increase the awareness on safety of villagers and the communities, there are Nukkad Nataks organized. Through various plays and nataks, they are sensitized about the risk involved. So all these challenges, but I appreciate IGL. I saw they have especially built training vans, which are having the audio-visual facility. So randomly, I think Khatri forgot to mention probably, they go to various colonies and various communities and organize those lectures on safety. What are the risks and how to tackle those things through audio-visual means. Those are also very effective. So thank you, Khatri, for a very useful presentation.